Welcome, acolytes. I mean, a new Gundam anime. I actually didn't see this. I hope it's. I'm gonna watch it definitively. The last one I watched was Gundam Orphans, and I don't remember which one is. Is it the newest or not? I don't care. It was the last one that I watched. It was such a beautiful banger. I loved Orphan specifically, my favorite Gundam. It's a just. And yes, you might be surprised that me, an old Lich, actually likes gigantic robots. Well, a lot of boom boom, shoot shoot, and explosions, and I'm in. So let's just see.
These activist-minded people keep making the case for why anime needs to be gatekept more and more.
Yep,
it's like they deliberately
they
take
do.
up the interest of anime, or any interest really, only for the purpose to criticize it, find ways in how it doesn't fit their politically correct worldview,
Yep.
then demonize it and the fans who dare take an interest in it in the first place.
Yep.
And that's why they're referred to as the professionally offended. They forgot what it's like to be entertained, to find value in escapism. How dare you be entertained and not offended at all times in your life?
Yes, and that's something that a lot of people actually don't realize. Sometimes you just go in and have fun, acolytes. Fun is a very important part of life. A human without fun just dies out of pure depression, if I recall it correctly. But I know that you just won't live a long time if you never ever have fun. So there's that.
And that brings us to this article. Neon Genesis Evangelion director's new Gundam movie is the perfect mecha experience. I just wish it didn't use one of anime's most uncomfortable tropes. Now, I'm a fan of Evangelion, so this is something I'm looking forward to, but let's continue. Mobile Suit Gundam GQX is in many ways the ideal mecha anime compilation film. But I can't understand why Mobile Suit Gundam GQX spoils the fun by sexualizing its teen protagonist. It shouldn't need to rely on cheap peeks under her schoolgirl skirt. Now, I'll dive into this part some more later because she brings this up again. But by now, I just don't understand how people still get upset about this. Fan service is a part of anime, so if you don't like it, why choose to still watch it? Knowing the probability is high that it will occur whenever you watch anime. You're almost asking to be upset at this point. That's like me watching a Tarantino film, then get upset when there's blood splattering everywhere during a sword or gunfight scene. That's a trope that Tarantino is known for, so that's kind of on me at this point. GQX.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't even think. The thing is, for me at least, when I see this anime trope, this fan service, if it's made with an underage anime girl or even particularly anything basically, I just feel cringe in that moment, to be honest. It's more of an uncomfortable laughter than anything else, and I find it funny. Even if it's a panty show, I just find it funny. Maybe it's meant that way, to be honest, because Japanese definitively have a different humor than we in the West. And at the end of the day, even if it wasn't meant like this, Monte Sensei is correct. This is just something that anime has. You won't get rid of it. Even if you don't like it, I find it funny. Somebody else finds it sexy. Then let's just. Fair enough, I guess. I mean,
is the series' first major collaboration between Neon Genesis Evangelion creator Hideaki Anno's, I suck with Japanese names, Kahara Studio, and Bandai Namco Sunrise, a crossing of dreams. The alternate universe movie follows Machu, a high schooler with pink hair and a natural ability to command the fearsome mobile suit GQX. Her philosophical angst is fresh and relevant, reminding me of my own ennui existing in a society where billionaires romanticize Mars. Yo, are you serious?
Okay, how many people romanticize Mars in real?
And the world seemingly has little regard for women's
Okay.
safety. Talking, oh my God, I can't believe she went. I can't believe she went there. Like, she's so on the nose with it. Understand what I mean when I say activist-minded people. These people are so deranged, underdeveloped, socially conditioned that they are incapable
Yes.
of perceiving the world outside of a political lens.
Yes,
It goes
they
for
are.
entertainment, video games, any type of fiction. It doesn't matter. They always find a way to map on their modern reality onto fiction. It's a trained reflex for them. And I'm sure you all know who she's referring to about the billionaires romanticizing Mars. And of course, the women's safety remark. That's always like top 5 tactics for activists. These are the same people I refer to in my free run is problematic video. The same activist-minded people. They never quit. I love Machu for her ambition. Ultimately, she's an unabashedly girly genius who modernizes the Gundam franchise by being one of its few female protagonists with dimension. And this is how activists qualify entertainment, stories, or characters of any sort. They only care about the surface level identity. They see if the character is a first of this, to be of that, to be in this certain role. At a certain point, to me, it's just exhausting of constantly trying to break down and fragment a character's identity to label them a first of something to be in a role. It's totally redundant at this point. But despite both the characters and the film's impressiveness, I just can't get over the fact that in GQX, much like Evangelion treats its own female characters, Machu is mercilessly sexualized.
And by the way, I'm just gonna say it, acolytes, just in case you forgot. You cannot please those people. If you do everything correct as they think, they will still find a problem with it. The problem isn't because it's the way that they describe it. The problem is that you made it. And they didn't profit out of your work. That's the problem. Not the thinking behind your action. Not the fact that you made something that they like. No. It's simply because they could not profit from it. Those are freaks. It's no, okay, I'm just gonna continue this.
Welcome to anime. Right after we see Machu's face in GQX, we see her underwear. The high schooler is introduced in a handstand position surrounded by a crowd of classmates, squealing about her panties.
Guys, get your heads out of the gutter.
From this early moment in the film, I felt my guard go up, making it impossible to savor any of the intriguing moments that were to follow. You know what, then just leave the theater. Like, it's that simple. Let me be clear, it doesn't matter which age Machu is portrayed as. It could be a girl in her 50s and her reaction would be all the same. It doesn't matter. Because probably the top thing that activists hate are feminine, beautiful, attractive female characters.
Correctly.
They despise them, all because they attract the male gaze.
Yeah, and because they won't ever reach it. Because if you actually want to be a good-looking person, you actually have to work for it. Just be fit. Build up some muscles, and it's irrelevant if you're a woman or a guy. Guys actually can do extra muscle defiance, so they look bigger than they actually are, or so they just bulge up, but there is no strength behind it, so I'm not a fan of that one. I personally only go for the muscles without any extra bulging, but women can also train their muscles without the bulging thing. And I'm gonna be honest, yeah, you really have to do a lot of work for training. I mean, it's not, the thing is, it's not like an hour a day or 3 times in the week for 3 hours. It's enough if you just run a bit with your dogs, if you just buy some hanteln. So, wait, give me a second, I'm just gonna, deploying hanteln, dumbbells, and acolytes. If you're playing your game, just in between, throw a set in when you're watching a cutscene, then the other hand, then the other, and that's most of the time enough. For the hands, at least. I mean, if you want to get rid of your stomach, of course you have to do some push-ups, or for your legs, you actually have to move. But in the end of the day, I'm training a bit. I actually just started 3 months ago, I would say, and doing it casually. And I just see that it gets better. It doesn't get quickly better, but it gets slowly better. And that's a lot of work that those freaks don't appreciate. Simple as that. And I'm gonna be honest, fuck him.
They treat it like it's the boogeyman. They treat it like demons that haunt guts and berserk every night. That's how they perceive the male gaze. Hypersexualizing young girls is one of anime's most pervasive tropes, and it's as revolting as a wound that won't close. No, it's not. She must be insufferable to be around. I'll be honest. That's like getting mad at Vampire Diaries or Riverdale for the many lingerie scenes and cleavage shots those shows have. I talk about this in my Is Anime Fictional Reality video, where I mentioned I have crushes on the girls in Vampire Diaries even though they're in high school. But even though they're playing characters younger than me, in reality, they're actually older than me in real life. And I highlight that to make a point of how stupid this is. But what makes this worse is that this is anime. Like, they're not even real to begin with. These characters don't exist in anime. But watch my video on that because I go more in depth on that subject. Apart from contributing to a global culture of violence against women and girls. All right, here we go.
I always love it when those fucked up, stupid people actually argue of contributing to violence, while calling out every single one who disagrees with them, calling their names, calling out to being killed, calling out to being harmed, going up and actually calling for the children to be harmed. But yeah, okay.
Please mention how this is a common top 5 tactic for these activists to use. From the United Nations using the same rhetoric to censor anime and manga, to game journalists or journalists of any kind. They did this with Stellar Blade, where having an attractive female lead saying this will contribute to violence against women. And of course they don't specify, but keep it vague to where violence can mean anything to fit their narrative. But the word itself they can rely on to guilt trip weak-minded people to join them in condemning whatever medium it is of that day. It's like they're all part of the same chat group, sending a mass text out to one another of the same talking points. And suspiciously, side note, over the past 2 weeks, the rhetoric in accusing Japan of some of the worst crimes has accelerated like crazy, just pushed by these random accounts. And it all started after Japan stopped funding the United Nations, specifically that one group that was trying to censor anime and manga. But I'm making a video on that, so stay tuned for that. But continuing. Legendary but lecturous anime like Evangelion also makes it impossible for me as a female audience member to legitimately connect with a female character.
Get them fuck off.
Forcing you to watch this. Relax. It's like she takes joy in being like the buzzkill. Like she really acts out the stereotype of a hallway monitor. I'm not saying all hallway monitors are like this, but she really acts out that stereotype of that type of behavior. Just how can I ruin your day type of attitude, you know?
Yeah.
There's always a voice whispering in the back of my mind, reminding me that she's only here for people to gawk at, not relate to. Of course, like I said.
Oh, what was it? Schizophrenic when you hear voices? Yeah. I think you should get that one fixed.
Gaze. It's like they're making my points for me. Like the male gaze is Bigfoot to them. That's how they view it. It's alienating and it's disappointing that Machu is subjected to such lazy exploitation. She really, she makes it sound like she's a character in Taken that was like kidnapped. I don't know if y'all ever seen that movie. She makes it seem like she's held hostage and subjected to. Oh, yo, it's crazy how what's that quote? People will fight for fictional characters more than they fight for actual people. Like she really is doing it like that. GQX also depicts the small, obviously young character naked in the bathtub in an unnecessarily drawn. It sounds like she's paying attention to these details more than everybody else. And naked in the Kira. She also wiggles through an older man's legs while controlling a mobile suit for the first time, something that made my screening's audience giggle. Okay, I was about to say, because that sounds like a comedy scene, and it sounds like she's the only one not having a good time. Like everyone else seems to be enjoying themselves, getting the jokes. Like everybody else seems to be familiar with anime, and where she is like the buzzkill of the party. She's the hallway monitor in the school, ruining everybody else's fun. But for me, these uncomfortable moments sit like black coffee on an empty stomach. You know, that's kind of funny. I I actually don't eat breakfast, and all I drink in the morning is black coffee, so that's kind of funny that she mentioned that. Matthew deserves better, as do incoming fans of Mobile Suit Gundam. Okay, whatever. GQX, otherwise refreshing take on the franchise. I left the film wondering, why do robots deserve more respect than a girl?
Shut when you think about it.
Okay, to be fair, if I had the decision of having a Gundam and having a girlfriend, I would definitively pick the Gundam. Anytime. I want a freaking I want a Gundam now. Acolytes, I demand from you that some effing how you're gonna build me a Gundam. Your overlord demands it. I don't care how. Build me a Gundam.
I just don't understand. Who do these people hang out with? Like, do these people have a social circle of some sort? Like, I can't imagine somebody being around this type of attitude at all. Like, they at a bar, at a restaurant, anywhere. Like, it sounds like they would just suck the fun out of the room. And I said this before, like, I really do pity these people. They have been so conditioned to be offended at every turn in their life, incapable of any joy or a moment of fun. She literally is the least self-aware person in that room or screening, theater, whatever. In her own words, everyone else in that screening was enjoying themselves, something she's incapable of. She fuels that saying, misery loves company, needing to strip the world of any fun, any escapism, any joy, any moment of just being entertained, because, man, life is hard enough. Like, this is what entertainment is for. This is what people look forward to escape from the hardships of reality that people are constantly burdened with on a day-to-day, you know. But these activists just need everyone to join them in their misery. Like, on their watch, fun is just not allowed. But you know what? Thankfully, a lot of the corruption lately has been coming to light, making clear that, you know, these viewpoints these activists have were not as popular as a lot of us thought they were. And I always had my suspicions about that from like day one. Like, who really thinks like this? Like, not everybody can be this insane, right? Not everybody can be this stupid. But it comes to find out, like, a lot of this shit was like funded and, you know, government funded and pushed heavily from top down, where the pushback against this is, you know, from the people is truly organic, grown from the bottom up with a solid foundation. And I'm just glad I'm not alone in this thinking where sanity still prevails. So yeah, but that's all I have for this video. Tell me what you think in the comment section below, man. Like I said, these people,
yeah, I'm gonna be honest, Monte Sensei, as always, very clever guy. I actually quite love his content, Acolytes. It's just honestly, it's calming and also logical. He speaks, well, slowly. It's that part is better for me, so I can learn it more effectively. And yeah, I just think I agree with him on all of those parts. If the freaks that actually want to shut down this because of their pathetic little, well, occupation or thinking about, well, political thinking. But as it is, good night.